Public pressure. It works. Not always, but when a wrong is done to a member of society and the public come together to back them and seek justice for that wrong, in many cases we see that wrong righted. And in some very rare cases we see the offenders make a public apology. Although this is quite rare. However, Derbyshire Police, the force who Matt Hancock supported, over the fines issued to two women just days ago after they were stopped by 5 police constables whilst they were out walking on their own, socially distanced, drinking coffees, have now rescinded the fines they issued and offered an apology. Jessica Allen and Eliza Moore were each fined £200 by police for driving 10 minutes for a walk because discretion gave the police such a power complex that their personality disorder, coupled with the fact that they're thick as shit and can't use common sense, blinded their judgment and made police think that travelling 5 miles to a spot where there is going to be less people to interact with is a danger to others, and that the cup of coffee each of the women were carrying constituted a picnic. A fucking picnic. Of course, Derbyshire Police defended the actions of the officers involved at first, who decided to issue the women with the fixed penalty notices for breaching COVID rules and said driving for exercise was not in the spirit of lockdown. A little like acting like a brown shirt isn't in the spirit of being a police constable. But yesterday, Jessica Allen said, "This afternoon we both received a phone call from Derbyshire Police. After reviewing our case, our fines have been rescinded and we have received an apology on behalf of the constabulary for the treatment we received. We welcomed this apology and we are pleased to draw a line under this event." She said that her and Eliza believed that they were following the guidelines of staying local to exercise as they were only lived 10 minutes away. She said previously, as we drove in there was a police van, a police car, and there were loads of police there. We thought there must have been a murder or something. She said, "I genuinely thought something major had happened as the place is normally so quiet. The next thing, my car is surrounded by police and they start questioning us as soon as we both set foot outside. One of them started reading my rights and I was looking at my friend thinking, this must be a joke. They started saying you have the right to remain silent and all that, so we thought we were being arrested. They talked to us like we weren't even human. They just kept saying you have broken COVID laws. I said I was really sorry and I didn't know what I was doing was wrong. I tried to explain, but they weren't having any of it. I pointed out that we came in separate cars, even parked 2 spaces away, and even brought our own drinks with us. He said you can't do that as it's classed as a picnic. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was so shook up afterwards. The fact they read my rights, I thought, am I going to prison for going for a walk? With my business being closed, going for a walk is the only time I get out of the house, really, to do some exercise. It can be busy just walking around my local area, so I decided to go drive to the reservoir because I knew it would be less crowded. We went in separate cars as well as we thought that was more sensible, but the police thought apparently not. If anything, I thought I was being more responsible and I thought I was staying local as the guidance suggests. I've had a lot of people who also suffer from anxiety reach out and say that this would have tipped them over the edge. So if it helps them, I know I've done some good. But more than anything, I just want the guidance to be clearer. All I was doing was going for a walk. I take my dog up there and some days you are lucky to pass one other person. We weren't breaking the rules deliberately. Guidance for the current lockdown says people can travel for exercise as long as it's in the local area. However, the legislation does not specify a maximum distance that people are allowed to travel for exercise. Derbyshire Police and Crime Commissioner Harjiel Dehinza, said over the weekend that an urgent review was underway about how the fines had been issued. And you see, this is important to remember, folks. I keep saying it. If you do receive a fixed penalty notice and you know or feel that you have done nothing wrong, then you must fight it. The fact that people like Cressida Dick are calling for tougher action against rule breakers and that the police should move quicker to issuing fixed penalty notices is an abhorrent abuse of their powers and an abuse on the public. The 4 E's, engage, explain, encourage and enforce, has rarely been the path that we see police take. Granted, I have seen some police dealing with people in a very professional manner, but too many are simply not using their own brains and asking themselves, is this actually lawful? Is this actually morally right? In fact, I would suggest that every police constable ask yourself whether what you are doing to people you would like done to your nan, or you would like your children to go through. Would you be more reasonable if you were the one who caught your nan or children out not actually breaking the law than you are with other members of the public? According equal respect to all people is what your oath says. Upholding fundamental human rights is what your oath says. Prevent all offences against people is what your oath says. And that includes offences committed by police and the state. Maybe you should go home and read your attestation 100 times tonight until you can remember it, and then repeat it every morning before you go to work. Big thank you to channel supporters, especially these guys. Your support is truly appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will. And until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police and other officials.